On today's episode of the Marketing Update, Mike and I are back, and we're going to talk about Ben & Jerry's upset about innovation.
Shoppers in the digital age.
Facebook Exchange makes its debut.
And did you get that email from B?
Ooh, all coming to you in just a few minutes. Seconds. Hi, welcome to the Marketing Update. It's September 14th, 2012, and we're coming to you live from Cambridge, Massachusetts. It must be a beautiful end of summer afternoon, and everybody is out having some brewskis in the sun.
It definitely is. Who are you?
I'm Karen Rubin.
And I'm Mike Volpe. Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years. Literally.
We've been here for years.
4 years.
4 years.
Except not
true.
the last 3 months.
It's been more like 4 months.
4 months.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's been a while. We've been on vacation. Mike and I had a nice summer.
Vacation?
I was on vacation.
Right, okay.
You were working, but I was hanging out at home.
I think many moms across the world would be upset of you calling maternity leave vacation.
That's true, but I, had a good time. I have a beautiful little girl to show for it. Life's good.
There you go.
But now I'm back, kicking it off in style.
I'm back too.
We're a little bit rusty.
We have no idea what we're doing? Yeah.
In any case, if you
How to
want
interact
to
on Twitter,
tweet to us and tell us how
things.
rusty we are. Hashtag MKTGUp. Let us know your thoughts. We'll share your name.
All the old episodes are in all the old episodes are in 5 stars. We like iTunes reviews, so make sure you get that right. And anyone's welcome to come by. Live studio audience.
Come to the live studio to watch us make fools out of ourselves in person.
Let's dive in. My battery's about to die. Let's dive into headlines.
7%. Just decrease the sound.
Yeah.
The light.
Right.
Anyway, Ben & Jerry's are upset about innovation on their product.
Yes.
This came from GetThe5.com, but the makers of Ben & Jerry's are really upset because a new company called Rodax Video has released a new series of porn videos called Ben & Cherries. The videos, the 10 titles that they've released, have fabulous names like Harry Garcia, Boston Cream Thigh, Americone Cream, and Peanut Butter D-Cup. All based off of Ben & Jerry's, classic ice cream flavors.
Yeah.
And the pictures...
Adapted trademarks.
The pictures look like naked women on the front of a Ben & Jerry's ice cream container. They're fabulous.
Which really combine every man's 2 favorite things in the world.
Ice cream and porn?
Yeah.
So a couple of comments on this. First, Ben & Jerry's has filed a lawsuit that they be taken off the market. Fine. But, Kip Bodnar, our very own, pointed out to me that all good innovation comes through porn. And so maybe this is just trying to get better ice cream flavors from Ben & Jerry's.
Maybe. Oh, I'm not sure how many of those things
are better.
Are they appetizing? I don't know.
Harry Garcia.
I'm not sure. Right. But the point remains that a lot of maybe good, bad innovation, lots of innovation does come from the porn industry.
It's true.
They actually led the way in terms of affiliate marketing and actually a lot of gray hat,
video
black
streaming.
hat SEO and technology for video streaming, and also in new models and new business models for content and things like that. So yeah, it's sort of interesting. But this is not new. I don't think this is actually a new thing in the porn industry. It's new to do it to Ben & Jerry's.
Right.
But they've done this for lots of different things. Yeah.
The question here, though, is we've talked as a marketer. If somebody takes your company and makes porn based around your company, is this a good thing or a bad thing? Because we always say that when people get upset about your business, when they innovate on your business, you should embrace that. You should, get excited about the people passionate about your business and support them in what they're doing. Does that extend to the porn industry?
Well, I think the question here is, I think it depends. I think Ben & Jerry's probably felt bad that this was negative toward their brand and would, moms still want to buy the ice cream. But I think what actually happened in this case is they just called more attention to it. So by filing the lawsuit, it hit all the mainstream press and all these different things, right?
Yep.
And now I actually bet that the sales of these videos has actually increased, right?
It probably has.
So it probably has increased, and there's more attention to it. Now everyone knows about it.
So maybe that was their plan. Maybe they were like, let's take this to the next level by filing a lawsuit.
Maybe they actually have an investment in the company.
I don't really see how porns that share the name or whatnot keep moms from buying the ice cream. It's not like they're displayed side by side in the convenience store.
Yeah.
It's not like get your ice cream and your video porn.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they did bring more attention to it, which I think is great. So, Mike, what would you say the marketing takeaway here is?
I don't know. It's blank on the sheet, Karen. Where's the marketing takeaway?
You know what? Because we've been away for so long, I thought I might throw like a nice, good prove how good you are. You're
Right.
CMO.
Yeah.
We want you to really take this to the next level.
I would say in this case, I would just be careful about defending your brand. I think there's many times where it makes more sense just to kind of like let things slide than to be super aggressive about it. We have all kinds of stuff coming in on Twitter already. We have. Actually, I don't know what we have.
And the computer just died.
So thanks,
I
everyone.
do know that somebody
we'll be more ready next year.
I know somebody had asked if Quinn and Ellie were in trouble for talking about porn too much on
Clearly
the show
not,
over the summer, and I just
Nope.
want to dispel any rumors. We're fully in support of pornography on HubSpot TV.
We, as in just her, not me. Yeah, awesome.
And
All
here's
right.
Mr. Quinn.
Porn's great online.
There you go.
Because he can't stay away.
Head of HR, by the way. Shoppers in the mobile age. Let's talk about mobile and shopping.
First story here's from Marketing Pilgrim. Vibes.com came out with a fascinating chart showing the percent of time that the phone is always or often at arm's reach for people.
Yes.
82% of people who have a smartphone said that it's within arm's reach while they're shopping. 74% while they're working, 65% said when watching TV, 11% have it within arm's reach while they're showering. I wonder how, well.
Might be related to the last story. Not sure.
55% have it within reach while they're sleeping.
Yeah.
So people
That actually makes
always
sense to
have
me.
their phones with them. But
Yes.
I think the interesting number here is the 82% have it right at their arm's reach when they're shopping.
Yeah.
Of course you do. It's in your pocket, it's in your purse, you carry it around with you. And the fact of the matter is people then use their phones to do what's called showrooming.
Well, yeah, that's like the new term for it.
Apparently. It was
Whatever.
in 2 articles today,
Yeah,
so it must be
showrooming?
picking
Yeah,
up.
I don't know.
People must be using it.
It must be like Eastwooding
Apparently,
or something.
this is we all know what this is when you go into a store and you're looking at a product and then you pull out your iPhone to read the reviews or see if it's cheaper on Amazon or look and see if you can get it better somewhere else, a better deal on it.
I do it all the time.
Who doesn't? So basically they said that 84% of showrooming shoppers have conducted research while shopping in store. Yes. 33%, and I like the way they worded this, 33% of consumers admitted to comparing shopping on a competitor's website while in another retailer store. Like, I should be ashamed for doing that. Of course I do that.
Why
I do it
wouldn't
all
you do
the
it?
time.
Yeah.
It's right at your hands. Like, you should do it.
Yeah.
And 6% were likely to abandon an in-store purchase for a competitor.
Yeah.
I do have to say, I feel a little bit bad when I do that. I feel a little bit bad if I'm like in the store and then I go to Amazon and I'm like, well, you know, they can ship it to me by tomorrow and it's cheaper, so I'm going to use Amazon.
So I will actually pay like a little premium. Like if it's like a couple bucks more, I'll be like, okay, I'm in the store, like this is cool, I get it right now, like fine, whatever. Like I'll actually, but if it's like a lot more, then it's like no. So it's not. I feel like if it was like Amazon were 10 cents cheaper, I would just buy it in the store.
I agree.
So I feel like they have an opportunity, like they have the store. I understand that costs something, but they can make a little money off of that, just not a lot of money.
Well, I think that actually leads right into the next thing is that they've got this challenge that they're facing with of people being able to go buy stuff online really easily. And Jack Philbin, the CEO and president of Vibe, says that the retailers who don't deploy a mobile marketing strategy will continue to be challenged with decreasing in-store sales and the risk of being Amazonized.
Amazoned, I think it's.
Oh, it's Amazoned? I like
Well,
Amazonized.
well,
in any case, it's a made-up word.
Make up a made-up word off of a made-up word.
Which actually leads right into the next story from
Yes.
GetThe5.com, which is about how Google talking about how people are using mobile phones, again, all the time when they're in shopping. Showrooming.
Yes.
And 80% of the searches that people do on mobile phones are spur of the moment, and 44% of them are goal-oriented. So basically, the example they gave is someone's walking down the street, they realize they didn't make a dinner reservation, they search for the restaurant, they find it, they see that there's a coupon there, they click then the, click to call, pops right up on your mobile phone so you can call the restaurant really quick. They make the reservation. When they go in, they show the coupon, they get 50% off their lunch, and there's all these ways that the business can engage with them through the mobile phone by using some of the Google tools.
And one of the stats from the Wall Street Journal that did some research or published something about this was that they were saying that maybe 39% of walkouts, so people walking out of a store not buying anything, were influenced by smartphone usage.
Right.
So if you look at that, if you have a better strategy there, maybe there's something better you can do.
So
what's the marketing takeaway, Karen?
Marketing takeaway here is that in the mobile, you got to stay tuned to what's going on in the mobile space and how consumers are using it, because businesses and storefronts don't need to be Amazoned. They can offer alternatives to try and help people who are using their phone in their store get better deals and buy from them. They can also enhance their customers' experiences. That was the phrase I wrote down to use.
There you go. Awesome. All right. Facebook Exchange is in beta.
All right, so you've been
What's
in
the Facebook Exchange?
So here's
Do
the
you
thing.
trade your friends? What is it?
That'd actually be pretty cool. So, Pam's trying to tell us something, but I don't know what.
It's out of beta.
Out of beta. Oh,
Makes
I
its
thought it
beta
made
debut.
its
No.
debut. All right,
You wrote
it's
this
out of
down
beta
wrong.
today. I
It's
wrote
out
it down.
of beta.
I was rushing. Mike's been in meetings today. Have you read any of the stuff about Facebook Exchange? Do you know what it is?
I just read all about it.
Oh, excellent.
It's an advertising exchange.
It is. So the way the HubSpot blog very accurately described it is a cookie-based ad targeting system that serves up ads related to a user's web browsing activity. So basically, they stalk you, and then they show you ads based on what you were looking at online. So
Across multiple websites.
Across multiple websites. So if you were looking for some Ben & Jerry's porn, and then you are on Facebook, it might show you ads for Ben & Jerry's ice cream to go with your porn, right?
Yes, perhaps. Could be one of the things, yeah.
In any case, the real exciting thing about this is, it's another ad network, awesome, but there's been some testing done on it over the last couple of weeks with some very interesting results.
Yeah, it seemed like overall the results were good. Everyone was reporting that the ROI was higher. Even one thing it said, and I asked with Pam just to verify this, and she's like, it seemed really high, but like the 6% click-through rates on this exchange, 6.65% versus 6.41 on Google's ad exchange. So it was like a sort of like a kind of a 10, or actually a little less than that, sort of like a few percent uplift in click-through rate. But those overall rates seemed really, really high to me. So I don't know. But the difference on the Facebook exchange versus Google's, it was a little bit higher on Facebook. So that's sort of interesting.
They were saying things like 16 times the ROI.
Yeah.
And
it's always hard to do something like that with something that's new, though, because when Facebook ads first launched, like all their ads first launched, it's an auction-based system, so the inventory was huge and no one was bidding on it yet. So like the cost per click was so low that it was just like, the return was huge. Then everyone pours in and starts buying a lot more of it. The prices go way up, and actually the ROI has gone way down on those. So the question is, as this like rolls out like out of beta and like more people could actually buy it, will like the prices kind of go up and then the ROI goes way down? I don't know.
The theory here, though, is that you're able to give much more targeted ads to people.
Yes.
So people are excited that this will allow you to get higher click-through and conversion rates because, for a real example, not porn-based, this was in the fabulous article on the HubSpot blog, which is the only reason I have any idea what Facebook Exchange does and can explain it, is that they use the example of a person shopping for invitations for her son's birthday party, superhero invitations, and she's shopping and she decides not to buy because they're really expensive. And then a couple days later, she goes back to Facebook, and she's on Facebook uploading some pictures, and there's an ad for a 30% discount on the invitations that she had been looking at. She could then go back and get the discount to get the invitations. And so something she was doing on this site over here shows up on Facebook with a targeted ad and maybe a deal for her. Yeah. It's those connections and that really targeted offering that will hopefully help drive up click-throughs and conversions for people.
Yeah, I mean, we talk a lot about the notion of like content, right? And then also the notion of context.
Yes.
And this helps provide a thicker amount of context for the advertising that you're doing. Now, fundamentally, you're still paying for this stuff. You're paying on a per-click basis. There's auction rates that you don't control. So who knows what's going to happen with your ROI over time. And it's still in that section of like Facebook and websites that everyone loves to ignore, right? We have this blindness to like the banners that go across the top and the stuff on the right. So you're still, but if you're doing a lot of that stuff, this is a way to get more out of it potentially.
Yep. It also was interesting that the product marketing manager for the Facebook Exchange said that it's not perfect in every scenario. If you're trying to drive purchases of something outside of Facebook, the Facebook Exchange is great for you. However, if what you're trying to do is get more likes and get more favorability with people, there are other tools within the Facebook suite that's probably better suited for you than the Exchange. Yeah. So good to look into the different options and not just jump on the new thing if you're trying to get more likes.
I don't know. I have some core issues with like the way Facebook markets their own, some of their own advertising. Like I sort of read that comment as like, well, if you want good ROI, you should use this thing. But if you don't care about ROI and just want to spend lots of money on engagement, then you should just dump all your money into our existing ad products, which is kind of how I read it. I don't know. So I think it's interesting. You definitely should test it if you're into this stuff and spend a few bucks on it and see how it goes.
Marketing takeaway?
So marketing takeaway is targeted marketing for the win.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So did you get an email from B?
I
was
didn't.
super psyched about it. I was about to go hang out in New York. Yes, I actually.
Do you know
heard
who
about
he
this.
is? Are you too old for that?
No, I know.
Just making sure.
No.
Got to get in a couple of digs on our first day back.
So I think Beyonce is a little younger than me, but Jay-Z is like my age or even like a year or two older, I think.
Beyonce's actually the same age as me.
Okay, I think Jay-Z might be my age, so yeah.
All right. I didn't realize he was so old. He's very cool. So in any case, Obama's team did some fabulous email marketing
So I'm
this year.
old and not cool is what you're basically trying to say. I just want to be clear about what's going on here. Okay, all right.
No, you're very
Interesting. Right.
You're very cool.
Uh-huh.
Coolest boss I've ever had.
Okay.
Obama's team did some cool email marketing this week when they sent out an email and changed the from address. Instead of coming from Obama, because that's who you normally get
or the
to.
campaign or whatever.
Whoever.
Yep.
It came from Beyonce Knowles.
Yes.
And she was inviting them personally to come to a fundraiser in New York with her and Jay-Z and Michelle and Barack.
Yeah.
They were all going to hang out and listen to some tunes and maybe play a little Wii, and you could pay for it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's at the 4040 Club, which Jay-Z owns in New York. It's only 100 people, which is actually kind of cool. So it's relatively intimate dinner, and but it's $40,000 a person. So I was hearing about this.
That's why you got the email, but I didn't.
No, I didn't get the email. I didn't get the email. I don't think I'm on Obama's mail list. I was hearing about the radio. I was like, that's actually kind of interesting. I was like, how much of the donation? It was like $40,000. I was like, oh, well, that's interesting, right? But yeah, I mean, it seems it's kind of a fun event, sort of interesting. But I think we wanted to talk about specifically the marketing of it, right? Of having this email and have it be like much more personalized.
I want to know if the from address was Beyonce's actual email address.
Definitely not.
Was it like Beyonce.knowles@gmail.com?
That would be funny if it was, but I don't
It would have
think
been
so.
awesome.
Yeah,
I doubt it.
I bet you. I don't think so.
I think I would love to know how it worked. My expectation is people were pretty excited getting an email from Beyonce that was very personalized to them with an invitation to come and hang out. I mean, you have to expect maybe that the
Well, and I wonder how they did. I wonder how they did the segmentation on it, right? So I bet you the open rate was very high,
Yes.
right? I don't know about the click-through rate because if they put the $40,000 price in the email, that's obviously like a big qualifier of like, do you have $40,000 to spend, or if you want to go with somebody else, $80,000 to go have dinner with these people? But I also wonder in terms of like, did they look at like all of the Obama supporters and say, okay, well these are the ones that are in New York that have a lot of money and are also probably like a little bit younger, so they're more likely to have this affinity for Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Right.
And did they do that kind of segmentation, or did they just send it to like lots of people and be like, oh, like Beyonce's famous, and like we only need 100 people to sign up and kind of,
Who knows?
I would be curious to know more about that. So if you worked on this or know anyone who did work on this, I would love to know more about the segmentation and all the stats and like the click-through rate of this versus like the normal stuff. And
I feel like
all
we've
the
asked
stuff I normally
Obama's
geek out
crew
about.
to tell us some of the details.
It would be cool.
before, and
Actually,
they
you know
never
what? We should just
answer.
invite Mr. President, if you would like to come here and talk about the success of this marketing campaign, we'd be more than happy to give you a segment of the show, not the whole show.
Actually, if you
but
want
a
to talk
segment
about
of the show to discuss this campaign.
If you wanted to talk about other marketing campaigns that have been successful for you too,
Also,
or
yeah, that's
not
fine.
successful,
We could actually, you know what? We'll give you a whole show. To talk about.
I'm not really sure I'm willing
No?
to give up a whole. That's less me time.
No, with us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Then
with
sure,
us,
you can have a
with
whole
us,
show.
with us. And then, of course, to be
Mr.
balanced and fair, then we need to
President.
also invite Mitt Romney afterwards.
Okay.
So you're both invited.
Oh, we could have one. We could do a debate on HubSpot TV.
That would be epic. All right.
That would be
so
epic.
we already gave. No, actually, no. What is the marketing takeaway here?
Leverage your biggest fans.
Leverage your biggest fans.
And look into segmentation. It's good stuff.
Totally. What we don't have this. It just ends. Normally, there's like stuff to do at the end of the show.
No,
and
it's
so I know what to say.
What are you doing?
I'm like Ron
what are you
Burgundy
doing
up
this
here. I don't know
weekend?
what to say about anything.
What are you doing this weekend, Mike?
This weekend, housewarming.
You're out of practice.
Housewarming party tomorrow that I'm heading up.
Very nice.
And then just hanging out and working on presentations and packing my bags for Dreamforce, which I will be out all next week. And there's I'm presenting like 2 or 3 times, so check out the event agenda, come to my presentations. There's like 9 HubSpotters presenting, so come to all of our presentations because we actually have data that backs up the fact that we give the best presentations at Dreamforce. You should definitely check them all out. Brian Halligan, Dharmesh Shah, Kip Bardner, Dan Zarella, like everyone, Rebecca Corliss, lots of people are presenting. And then the other thing is that this company, Yesware, is doing this competition where the person that gets the most photos with this group of influencers that they identified will win an iPhone 5.
Are you an influencer?
I'm one of them. So you have to try to get your photo with me at Dreamforce to win an iPhone 5.
Can I ask you a question?
You almost made the running, I heard, but
You're
were
an
not
influencer.
actually
Wait,
in the thing.
I have a question. You're an influencer, but is Brian an influencer?
I actually, I don't think they forgot to mention. Actually, they checked with Brian, and he wasn't interested in doing it.
He didn't want to have all those people touching
up
him.
at the top, they have like Mark Benioff, and they have like Colin Powell, and then they have this like this big line, and then like and then the other influencers, right? And I'm in that group of like all the other ones. But there's a bunch of interesting folks down there, and it'll be interesting because what I think people have to do, is get all of us like together at the same time. So it's not like they can just like go up and like take a photo just with me and then just with
they can try and get as many influencers together as possible.
My reading of it was like it's as many as the same. So it's like, how are they going to do that? Like, are they going to try to like get me and like drag me somewhere? Like, they want to follow someone around a Dreamforce?
Are you going to get to like get with Colin Powell? Is the question then?
I would be willing to be dragged to go have my photo taken with Colin Powell. Yes.
Yeah.
But the question is like other just the other folks. I mean, I know a lot of them, but I don't know. Yeah.
Cool
So it's gonna be interesting. So what are you doing this weekend, Karen?
So I have a bit of a confession to make and an apology actually to you. Like a year ago, after John was born, I think I spent a lot of time making fun of you for your weekend plans being boring.
Yeah.
Well, this weekend, tonight we're going to get sushi. Very exciting with the baby. Tomorrow we're interviewing a babysitter. And then we're going to a 3-year-old's birthday party.
So you're still at the stage that you can go out to dinner with your kid at a place.
That's true.
Because she doesn't move around, she doesn't throw things.
Although
she doesn't,
last week we tried this on Friday night and it was a complete disaster. We happened to be on an island that required a boat though, so it was a disaster that we couldn't get out of for 3 hours. So this week we're just going to the sushi restaurant down the street. And then Sunday I'm having brunch with my good friend Dan Dunn, who is the laugh of HubSpot TV. He used to be our soundtrack. And so we're having brunch, and then I'm going to dinner with the family. So very family-oriented weekend because I'm a family lady now.
Nice.
It's going to be a good stuff. I'm looking forward to all of it.
Awesome.
Sounds good. So we'll see you. Well, we won't see you next weekend, folks. We will have stand-ins because Mike's going to be partying it up in California. But they will be fabulous, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.